Hi, I'm Ross McIntire, Technical Director here at the Orpheum Theater, and welcome to another edition of Technically Speaking with Ross McIntire. And today we have a very exciting subject to discuss, the trunk hatch. Now, this is an original feature of the stage. It's obviously, you can see, not in the middle of the stage where a trap door might be, and see our other videos to maybe find out about Houdini's hole in the middle of the stage. But this here is the trunk hatch, and this was used to transport the steamer trunks full of props or costumes or pallets with instrument cases all strapped to them down into the basement, which is here below us. We don't use this much anymore whatsoever. We used it actually a few years ago to lower a large piece of sprinkler control equipment down into the basement and then pick the old one up, but it doesn't really see any theatrical use anymore. Classically, they would have brought the costumes and props on the trains in big steamer trunks, and they would have transported those by cart at first, and then later probably by truck, to the back door of the theater, which is right over here. And they would have brought them inside, and instead of having to carry them down the old wooden staircase that used to be just behind this wall where the current steel staircase is, it used to be far safer just to lower it through this hatch. So they would have, there's a crane upstairs that we'll go look at in a minute, and they would have attached it to a block and tackle and then lowered the trunks into the basement. Today, costume, gondolas they call them, these large rolling wardrobes, don't fit in a hole of this size. Steamer trunks would have actually fit pretty well down in there, your average wooden trunk kind of deal, but today's trunks are just far too heavy and far too tall. So it's more of a curiosity than anything. It was actually reinforced here by our old friend Wes Young with Choral Dynamics when he had to park his motorcycle on top of it for, I believe, what was that, Rock and Road Trip or Classic Rewind? It was one of the two. And he rode his motorcycle out on stage, and he had it parked back here, and so he reinforced it so it could support the weight of the motorcycle. So just a second, we'll go up into the loft and see the crane. All right, so here we are up in the stage loft. Now there's far higher sections of the stage loft than this, but this is the one that you can most easily see from the ground. So if you've ever looked up here from the side of the house, maybe as a show was packing up, you might have seen this little L shape over here. Now it's hidden behind this very unwieldy steel cabinet, or else we might try and flip it out and show everybody. But this is the old kind of cantilevered jib crane that they used to use to lower trunks into the basement. They would have this railing here was added in 1988 for modern safety purposes. They were far more cavalier back when the theater opened, and they would have just swung that crane out over the trap door, which is actually right off of this platform from where I am. And it would have just given that much of like a sturdy position for them to lower things. And then they could have swung it over to pick it up off of, maybe a skid or a pallet that they might have brought it here on. So this is something you may never see. I've never actually seen it deployed all the way out, but it's fun to know that these sorts of things are still hidden away up here in the walls, and it sure is fun to show them to everybody. So thank you for joining us again for the Technically Speaking, and we hope to see you next time that we post anything online. Make sure to follow all of our pages, like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.